Good afternoon from AlphaCars. My name is Tom, coming to you from our Northampton location, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2013 Ural Patrol. Now, this Patrol is showing exactly 12,071 kilometers on its analog odometer. However, when translated to miles, that adds up to just around 7,500 miles, so a relatively lightly used motorcycle considering its age. But today I'll take you on a quick condition overview around the whole motorcycle and the sidecar as well, and we'll go over some of the basic features and specifications. So starting by looking at just general condition here, this metallic green paint is in really nice condition. As you can see, really nice reflective quality with that nice even lighting we have today. And some minor imperfections in the paint as we walk around the bike, and of course we'll point those out to you. You'll note it's also outfitted with a very nice silver powder coated engine and the chrome suspension and wheel package, which looks very nice as well. And it's got some interesting accessories littered throughout the bike that we'll cover as we make our way around. But first off, we'll go with the basics. This is a 749cc opposed twin engine, otherwise known as a boxer layout. Now in 2013, this was still a carbureted motorcycle, and this engine runs absolutely beautifully. You'll hear it in a few minutes when I fire it up. It sounds fantastic, and it fires up before the engine can complete its first crank. Really just a perfect example of a well-tuned carbureted Ural motor. Power is then delivered through a 4-speed manual transmission and a twin-plate dry clutch. You also do have one reverse gear controlled via this little lever just on the inside of your right foot. And then power is sent through a shaft drive into your final drive here at the rear, which then can, if you choose to select it, deliver power to the sidecar wheel with Ural's famous two-wheel drive system. Of course, that's best used in off-roading situations or anytime you're really in a bit of a pinch and you need a bit more traction. Of course, Urals are known for being able to go just about anywhere you'd like them to, and that plays a huge part. We'll start by looking at some of the features around this motorcycle. Now we'll take a look here at the front of the sidecar. Not only do you have this nice aggressive bumper to protect the nice paint on the nose of that sidecar, and as you can see, it's done a great job, but also we have this very healthy winch that works perfectly and is certainly capable of towing this bike out of any sticky situations that two-wheel drive couldn't quite get you out of, or pull anything a little bit heavier than this bike as well. Very substantial unit and fitted very securely to the nose of the sidecar. Here on the nose of the sidecar up on the top, we also have this nice luggage rack. You can see all of the hardware with some nice rubber bushings separating it from the paint, keep everything really nice. And that's all in great condition as well. Here in the sidecar, we have this nice tall windshield to give a little bit of comfort for your sidecar passenger, which is aided by this very comfortable seat back in the 2013 models. You can see the apron finished in a Cordura fabric, which is very rugged and durable, As you can tell, having lasted since 2013, you can see this apron is in fantastic shape, and all of the hardware with which it secures to the sidecar is just the same. Taking a look at the interior of the sidecar, making your way inside, you do have this nice diamond plate here to step on. Of course, very secure and in great shape, no issues with the paint there. You'll find inside some basic minor imperfections in the paint, and the seat is in very nice condition, as I had mentioned before. You do have this rubber floor mat there on the lower portion of the sidecar to protect the painted surfaces, and you can see this USB power outlet on the left and some wiring for not only the winch but a couple of other features as well. As you can see, that fuse box just there under the windshield. Here on the side of the sidecar, we do have this extendable shovel, which is great for getting you out of any difficult situations where maybe you don't want to use that winch and that two-wheel drive just needs a tiny bit of help. Looking here underneath the sidecar, you'll find it in very nice condition. Now, it is not undercoated, however, very, very clean and minimal corrosion here at the rear of the sidecar. You do have these soft rubber mounts where if I shake the sidecar around, you can see it does have independent suspension to the motorcycle itself, offering your sidecar passenger a very comfortable ride. Also, your independent suspension out here on the outside wheel at the sidecar. Here on the rear of the sidecar, this luggage rack sitting just above your full-size spare wheel, which can easily be accessed by removing this nut with the provided tool. On the inside of the sidecar, you do have this jerry can, of course, very, very handy to have some extra fuel, especially if you're going on a bit of a longer excursion, going off-road with this bike as it was designed. Now we'll focus a bit more on the motorcycle. As we can see, starting here at the front, you do have dual suspension on either side of your front wheel. Those chrome shocks are in great shape. And of course, a nice Brembo caliper here at the front, providing some very aggressive stopping power when it's necessary. As we know, good braking on a motorcycle is essential. You really want to be able to jam on the brakes in any situation, and having 3 points of traction on a motorcycle like a Ural, you can really come to a stop much quicker than you might expect. You'll see all of the hardware where you would normally find corrosion on an older model such as this. Looks very, very nice here at the nose of the motorcycle. Looking at the fender, the paint looks very nice, and it is accented by this very, very nice condition chrome bar here on the nose. You'll also find that free of any major corrosion, just a little bit of surface imperfections there on the hardware, but nothing too major. Headlight is in great shape and is accented with this JV windshield just above, providing some very nice wind resistance for the rider on the motorcycle. Here on the handlebars, you do have these bark busters protecting your hands if you find yourself off-roading, and you also, for some wind protection and a bit of warmth, have these shin guards covering your leg, and this nice heater around your feet. Some call it an engine, but it also serves as a heater for you, keeping you nice and toasty. And we do have customers that ride bikes, even from this vintage, all year round. They'll ride up to the dealership in the middle of February to stop in and say hi, so it's very cool. You do have the single tractor seat optioned on this bike with the vinyl cover. Now, where this small rack sits just behind the rider, of course, with these rear pegs, you do also have room for a passenger on the rear of the bike, and we could also fit a second tractor seat with a bit of a stadium seating setup where they sit just a bit higher than you do, just behind the driver, providing a bit more capacity on the motorcycle. Looking at the tank itself, you do have these protectors to keep that paint looking nice and shiny, with the Ural emblems matching the engine, wheels, and suspension very well. I think for longevity's sake, it is very nice that this is fitted with the decals as opposed to the stick-on badges, because these tend to last a bit longer, and in my opinion, it looks very nice with the slightly larger Ural text there on the front. A few more of those silver accents to cover. Of course, we do have the gas cap just here, finished in chrome, which looks very nice. And looking at the handlebar situation, handlebars are also chrome with some silver accents, not only where the windshield and bark busters mount, but also at the top of your triple clamp just here with a few of those components. But I'm going to fire up this motorcycle. As we can see, key just here on the left. And you'll notice I won't even put the carburetors into their choke position. All I'll do is tap on the starter button. You can hear without any hesitation of any kind that engine fires right up, idling beautifully. This is a very, very well-tuned example of a carbureted Ural engine. Exhausts are both in very nice shape, just the same. And it certainly has a bit of an old school sound with that carbureted engine. Let me give it a couple light revs here. As you can hear, it's got a really nice throaty sound in that exhaust, and it revs so freely and returns down to idle with no stumbling, no issues whatsoever. Looking at all of these fuel lines and the petcock just there, it's all in just amazing shape. This is a mechanically gorgeous example of a Ural in this vintage. It is really nice to hear that engine fall right back to idle, no stumbling whatsoever. So the last thing I'd like to cover with you is putting the Cordura cover here on the sidecar, so I can show you that, and then we'll explore the trunk for just a couple of moments. So I'll be right back with the sidecar cover installed. All right, so as we can see, I have installed that Cordura sidecar cover. Now, you will find a little bit of wear on this cover. I suspect that this cover had sat in the sun for a little while, so you see a bit of that fade, just as you see a little bit of there on the shovel cover itself, as opposed to the apron here on the nose of the sidecar. However, it still maintains its structural quality. It doesn't have any tears or water leaks into the sidecar, and it is holding up very well. This is a very durable and weatherproof material, and it's used in many aspects of different Ural models with all of these cloth applications. And despite the bit of sun fade, it looks rather nice. Now we'll open up the trunk. I did already pop this latch here because it's a bit of a two-handed operation, but then I can open it up using that luggage rack, and as we can see inside, you do have a comprehensive toolkit. You'll find photos of the tools in these kits in different Ural listings throughout AlphaCars.com. You also have a small pouch on the back of the backrest for the sidecar passenger, as well as a nice rubber mat there on the floor of the trunk to keep things nice and clean. You can also see some rubber mounts installed not only here on the inside of the trunk, but also here on the side of the sidecar. Presumably a previous owner elected to install those to hold whether it be a tire pump or a jack if necessary. But having these mounts here gives you a little bit of freedom to mount some accessories and not have to go through the trouble of installing those mounts. But if you have any further questions related to this 2013 Patrol, please reference the listing at AlphaCars.com, and there you will find all of the relevant contact information. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you from AlphaCars.